Hi everyone, welcome. The new episode of Peter's English podcast has been started. I'm your host Peter. I'm the owner of my own Peter's English podcast. This podcast is about learning English. That means that if you want to learn English like me, continue with watching. But if you are waiting for perfect thumbnails of my episodes, go away because it's not for you. This podcast is for learners of English. I want to inspire you how to learn English in a funny way. But I hope that the people who like my who like my thumbnails. There are future learners of English because English is for everyone. That's the slogan of my podcast. It's a new slogan. English is for everyone because everyone can learn English. Everyone can stream and create their own English podcast, and everyone can create their own English novel like me. Hi everyone, I'm Peter. I'm 34 years old. I'm from Slovakia. My hobby is learning English. I've been learning English since August 2022 until now, and as you can see, I made a big mistake that I didn't learn it before because I've done a lot of progress with learning English. And I like watching movies and series in English. I like listening to my favorite English podcasts and audiobooks. I like doing my Peter's English podcast, this podcast. And I like creating my own English novel, Viera the Vampire Girl Diary. Okay, yesterday was Saint Nicolas Day in Slovakia. This is the day when every child prepares its shoes, cleans it and put it on the window, and if the children are good, if the children were good for the whole year, they can find candies or sweets in the morning of the Saint Nicholas Day, or if they were bad and evil, they can find nothing, or ashes, uhlie in Slovak, if you don't know what I mean. I want to speak with Microsoft Copilot, my digital co-host, about this topic because it's an interesting topic. I want to find for you the information with the help of Microsoft Copilot, the AI chatbot, who was Saint Nicholas, and we can't do it right now. I have to activate study and learn mode, and we can start. I'm streaming and recording on my Twitch, my live stream. Explain my audience who is Saint Nicholas, and explain the Saint Nicholas Day in Slovakia. Okay, now we can wait. And here is the explanation of Microsoft Copilot. Saint Nicholas, Mikuláš, is a Christian saint remembered for his generosity, and in Slovakia his feast day on December 6th is a beloved tradition where children clean their shoes, place them by the window, and wake up to find sweets or small gifts inside, unless they misbehaved, in which case they might get coal or onions. Coal for onions. I don't know if some children were bad yesterday, I hope not. Who is Saint Nicholas? Historical figure. Saint Nicholas of Myra was a 4th century bishop from Asia Minor, modern Turkey. He became famous for his kindness, miracles, and secret gift giving. He was patron saint. He is considered the protector of children, sailors, merchants, and the poor. Legacy. His habit of giving gifts in secret inspired the later traditions of Santa Claus and Sinterklaas. St. Nicholas Day in Slovakia, Mikuláš, December 6th. It's children tradition on the evening of December 5th. Slovak children clean their boots and place them on the windowsill. By morning, St. Nicholas has filled them with sweets, fruit, or small toys. Angel and Devil. St. Nicholas is often accompanied by an angel rewarding good children and a devil remaining naughty ones. This trio visits homes, schools, and kindergartens. Treats. Typical gifts include chocolate figures, clementines, peanuts, biscuits like horálka, and golden chocolate coins. Punishment gifts. If children misbehave, they might find coal, onions, or potatoes in their shoes instead of sweets. Festive atmosphere, markets, trams, or even trains across Slovakia host St. Nicholas events with angels and devils joining in the fun. Why it matters. St. Nicholas Day marks the start of Advent in Slovakia, building anticipation for Christmas. It's both joyful and moral. Children learn that good behavior brings rewards, while mischief brings playful punishment. For adults, it's a nostalgic reminder of childhood traditions and a chance to pass them on. Okay, this was the explanation of Microsoft Copilot, and now I want to tell you that I liked St. Nicholas Day because I remember that when I was a little child, I often I've been preparing my shoes for St. Nicholas Day every year until now, and now when I'm an adult, I'm doing it too. But I'm the St. Nicholas in my family because I like to buy sweets for my parents and for myself. And I put the boots and I usually put them on the near the window, and then I'm the Saint Nicholas because I like this tradition, and that's all. I think that are sweet and good reminder of my tradition when I was a little child. And why not? Okay, what now? This was St. Nicholas Day for 8 minutes, and we can do something. And yes, we can learn with study and learn mode of Microsoft Copilot prepositions, because this is very hard topic for every learner of English. And we can start. Tell me the most important prepositions in English. Use a lot of examples. Great choice, Peter. Prepositions are small words, but they're the glue of English. Let's study them step by step with lots of examples so you can see how they work in real life. The most common prepositions. Here are the big ones you'll meet all time. In, on, at, to, for, with, about, of, from, by, under, over, and so on. Examples in context. Place or location. The sweets are in the shoes. The angel is standing next to the devil. The devil is hiding behind the door. St. Nicholas is walking through the village. Children are waiting at the window. Time. St. Nicholas comes on December 6th. We celebrate at midnight. He arrives in the evening. Direction, movement. He goes to the children's houses. The devil runs into the room. The angel flies over the crowd. St. Nicholas walks out of the church. Cause, purpose. The gift is for you. He is famous for his generosity. We are talking about St. Nicholas traditions. Means agent. The boots were filled by St. Nicholas. He travels with an angel and devil. The sweets were carried in a bag. Study trick. Think of prepositions as bridges. They connect nouns for the rest of the sentence. Okay, this is okay. To practice, let's do this. Can you make sentences with using said Nicolas? Sweets are on the table. Oh, this is too easy. Okay, people, what now? I think that the best idea is to show you how prepositions work in a good story. And it can help but the co-pilot can help us and create special funny Saint Nicholas Day 500 word story inspired by my novel Viera the Vampire Girl Diary. Use the most important prepositions in the context of the story. I think that's the best idea how to practice your English. I think that in the story I think that you can learn how to use prepositions only in the context of the story. Story in the English, and that's the main thing. Okay, and here is people. This is the story created by Microsoft Copilot. It was inspired by St. Nicholas Day and my novel Viera the Vampire Girl Diary. Perfect challenge, Peter. Here's an funny 500 words St. Nicholas Day story inspired by Viera the Vampire Girl Diary, packed with the most important prepositions so your audience can learn while laughing. And this is the main reason. People love stories, I think. And we can start. Viera the Vampire Girl and St. Nicholas Day. It was on the evening of December 5th when Viera the Vampire Girl sat in her gothic room staring at her boots. She had polished them carefully and placed them by the window, hoping St. Nicholas would drop something sweet into them. Lucia, her mischievous sister, leaned against her door frame. You think St. Nicholas will put chocolate in your shoes? He'll probably put garlic on them just to annoy you, Viera hissed. Garlic belongs in the kitchen, not on my boots. Suddenly a knock echoed through the house. Viera and Lucia ran to the door, and there stood St. Nicholas himself, flanked by an angel and a devil. The angel smiled, standing next to the saint, while the devil lurked behind him, holding a bag full of coal. "Children," St. Nicholas said, "I have come for your shoes." Viera pointed dramatically at her boots. "They are ready. Please put sweets in them, not garlic." The devil laughed and tried to sneak into the room, but the angel pulled him back by the tail. "Behave," she shouted. St. Nicholas bent down and placed golden coins in Viera's boots. "You have been good, mostly." Lucia giggled. "Mostly? She beat me last week." The devil clapped his hands. "Then coal belongs in her shoes. He tried to throw a lamp onto the boots, but it bounced off the window and rolled under the bed. Viera crossed her arms. "Coal belongs under the bed, not in my shoes." The angel handed Lucia a clementine. "This is for you because you told the truth." Lucia peeled in and tossed the skin into the devil's bag. "Here, keep this with your coal." The devil groaned. "I wanted cows, not fruit." Meanwhile, St. Nicholas walked through the house, checking every corner. He found socks on the floor, beds hanging from the ceiling, and a diary lying on the desk. He opened it and read aloud. "Dear diary, today I will wait for St. Nicholas. If he brings garlic, I will scream." The angel laughed. "Even vampires write about St. Nicholas." Finally, St. Nicholas placed a chocolate bar in each boot and said, "Remember, goodness is not just about sweets, it is about kindness, patience and sharing." Viera nodded. "And grammar. Prepositions belongs in every sentence, don't they?" Lucia smirked. "Yes, but call belongs in your diary, not in your shoes." The devil stomped out of the room, muttering about unfair angels. The saint and angel followed him, leaving Viera and Lucia laughing at the house. That night, Viera wrote in her diary, "Saint Nicholas came to my house. He put sweets in my shoes, coal under my bed, and laughter around my heart." Prepositions are everywhere, even in the Mythos. Okay, people, this was the story created by Microsoft Copilot. It was inspired by St. Nicholas Day and my novel Viera the Vampire Girl Diary. I think that this story is very interesting, and okay, we could see prepositions in the story, because I think that it's very hard to learn preposition from the grammar book, because you have to see it in context. And now I can tell you something about this topic, about prepositions. How to learn in context. You can read. You can listen to your favorite English podcast while you're reading. While are you reading text from it created by people that are supporters of your podcasts, or you can read audiobooks while are you reading the ebook versions or paper versions of the same book in English. I think this is the best idea, because podcasts are created for practicing your listening skills, because they don't have any text, the best idea how to practice prepositions is practicing your reading skills. That means you can simply read in English, or better idea, you can listen to English audiobooks and read in the same time, but you have to find something that is funny for you, and then you can see how real English structure works in context. Yes, because I think that no one can learn prepositions from the English grammar books. Okay, you have to read a lot English books, and the best idea is to simply listen to English audiobooks and read books of the same novels in the same time. And the best idea how to practice your listening skills is to listen to your favorite English podcasts, and you don't need to only listen. You can do everything at home while you listening your English podcasts, and that's great. Okay, that was about how to learn in prepositions, and I can end this episode because, and yes, the last part of this episode can be about From the Kitchen of Peter's English Podcast. And I can share with you that on Spotify, my podcast, my Peter's English Podcast, has 1036 streams or downloads in total. I mean the podcast on shared by my Spotify RSS feed, not YouTube. I don't mean YouTube, because my YouTube numbers are terrible. And yes, I know I'm not native speaker. Then there are a lot of streamers, podcasters, and videos and channels, and it's not easy. It's not easy to be successful YouTuber. I know, because you need to know how YouTube works, and you need I think, do a lot of ads for your podcast, and you need to do a lot of good content. And I don't have good numbers. Yes, I don't do my podcast for the numbers. I do my podcast because I want to practice my English. I like learning English through my own English novel, Viera the Vampire Diary, because I like to write my own fairy tales where I can use my own characters, my rules, my stories, my endings, and when I create my stories in English, I always imagine every situation of my story, and that's great. It's like watching a good movie in my mind, and I discovered that it's a very good hobby. I mean, writing my own stories in English, and the main reason why I'm doing my novel Viera the Vampire Diary is that I like my character Viera the Vampire Diary. I like this universe that I created, and I want to continue with it because it's funny and it's something that I like to do. Is my hobby. And okay, that's it. I think 21st minutes are enough. This was, people, special episode about St. Nicolas Day in Slovakia. Thank you for watching. Yes, you can follow my website. You can follow my website, petersenglishpodcast.com. You can follow my YouTube channel, Peter's English Podcast is there. You can follow my Spotify, Peter's English Podcast is on Spotify. And you can find Peter's English Podcast in every good or bad podcast app if you want only to listen. Yes, I know I'm not native speaker. You cannot learn from my English because I'm not native speaker, but this is not the main goal of this podcast. The main goal of this podcast is sharing with you that learning English is for everyone. This is the main goal of this podcast, and I want to show you how to learn English in a funny way and listen your heroes. I mean, real native English speakers, and inspired, and you can inspire yourself listening my Peter's English podcast, and you can see my progress, and you can inspire yourself for creating your novel, your podcast, and learn English like me. And it's funny to do it, and I hope that one day I inspire a lot of people, because I think that thanks to learning English you can change your life forever. Okay, that's it. I hope you had a really good St. Nicolas Day, and I want to tell you, yes, and don't forget to read my novel Viera the Vampire Diary. It's a Wattpad comedy sitcom on Wattpad. You can find there are 2 seasons, season 1 and season 2. My novel is about Viera the Vampire Girl. She is modern female vampire girl who lives with her parents. You can follow and read her story on Wattpad, and start with the season 1 and then continue with season 2. Don't worry, there are my stories my stories have independent story, because every chapter of my novel has independent story. It's not a big novel, and I want to continue because I was inspired by the sitcom series like the Simpsons, and I wanted to create the sitcom series, and my stories, my chapters are short, and you don't need a lot of time for reading. I know it's simple, or someone can hate me, someone can make love of me, but I don't care. It's my hobby. I don't care about your opinions. It's my hobby. I don't care about you, don't care about me, and And yes, I can tell you that if you are looking for beautiful thumbnails, go away. This podcast is for learners of English. It's about inspiration, and because I want to inspire you how to learn English in a funny way. And that's it. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I want to tell you bye bye.